Alright, today I'm going to show you my tail care routine for Glory. And I first start out with a clean tail. You can wash it and let it dry. I like to use the Espana Silk shampoo, which I can make sure to mention that later. But today her tail is not clean. It's soft and I've kept it in the tail bag. So I first start by using conditioner by Espana Silk, of course. And I only have to put a little bit on because this product, a little goes a very long way. So I just kind of like to squirt just a little bit along here and then of course on the back side. But you don't have to use a whole lot of this stuff for it to work. And it smells very good. It's all natural, which is my favorite thing about it. But it does last a long time, especially if you use a tail bag. And once I get it all rubbed in, I make sure to get enough everywhere where it needs to be. Make sure to squirt some for the, you can even just put it in your hand and put it on the tail. Glory keeps moving on me today. And put it on the back of the tail here. Alright, so once we get it on the tail, I like to use the Balmain tail brush. And I brush through the tail, just kind of help get that conditioner in there. And let it moisturize that tail, because that tail is dry, especially this time of year when it's very hot. So I like to just brush it in, and it helps moisturize that tail. So once I'm done with that, I like to use the Espana Silk detangler. And as with the other product, it's all natural and it smells very good. But this detangler is not just a detangler, it's also a protectant spray. So it'll help protect that tail and repel dirt and all kinds of stuff. So I just lightly spritz it on there and I use the brush again. Just brush through it. But like I said, this brush is great because it does not pull as much tail hair out as some other brushes may do. But as you can tell, it makes your tail very slick and smooth and soft. And it will last a very long time, much longer than some other products will that I've tried. So, but this spray will also help help the tail not get bleached out from the sun. So once I'm done with that, I can start the braiding process. I like to braid just to help keep that tail cleaner and protected from all that dirt, and it also helps it grow to just protect it from everything and the tail swishing in general. It just helps reduce the hair breakage. So you can use braiding tape, I have before, but I do like to use these super bands. They work very well. So I find that they hold very well, especially with all that swishing that's going on. So now that I've got all of these on the tail, I've got the conditioner and the detangler. So now I can separate the tail into the sections that it needs to be to braid. And as with anytime you're behind your horse, you do just want to be cautious and make sure your horse knows that you're behind them. And it seems like the flies are bothering Glory a little bit today. But once I get my sections here, and sometimes I'll have to brush it just a little bit more, just to help it smooth it out and make sure it's not going to get tangled at all. And you start and feel the tailbone. You want to make sure to go under the tailbone when braiding. So once I get my sections here, sometimes you just need to comb through it a little bit more if it's not cooperating for you. Okay. Alright, so now I can start braiding. And I do like to make the top sort of, pretty tight because you want the tail bag to stay on. And it's very important to make your braids tight or it just won't stay. Especially, even if the tail is in a tail bag. With all that swishing they do this time of year with the flies, it can loosen very easily. So I like to get the braids as tight as I can just to help the braid last longer. And when using a tail bag, you can leave it on for 7 to 10 days Usually I take it off every few days just to redo it and make it easier to just manage overall, and just kind of check on her tail and make sure I don't need to apply any conditioner or detangler. It just depends on the weather, because of course when it's hotter outside, the tail and the mane just dry out quicker because of that heat, that sun. So that's why I love this protectant spray by Espana Silk, because it protects that tail and it helps moisturize it also. So as I get near the braid, the end of the braid here, almost done. And you don't want to keep braiding so far down, because when the hair starts thinning out, that's when you want to put a band on. So now I'm going to put a band on. And like I said, you can use electrical tape, or BioMaine does have braiding tape that I have used, which does work pretty well, but with all this swishing, I just don't use it. Okay, now that the band is on, her tail is all braided. And I like to use the BioMaine tail bag. This bag is very durable, heavy duty material, so I don't have to worry about it getting torn up in the pasture. And like I said, you can leave it on for about 7 to 10 days. But I do like to fold the end of her tail here just to help it go in easier. And of course, with my situation, I have to get just as close as possible to be able to get it on. But you pull it all the way up to the top of your braid and separate the hair in between, just into 2 sections, and pull the strap through. And it just velcros down, and you have another strip that velcros up. And this tail bag is very secure. It'll help keep that tail protected, and especially since you use the Espana Silk products, it'll stay nice and moisturized with this heat. But that is how I take care of Glory's tail, and I hope this video was helpful.